Week 16, and Jayden Daniels was clutch. On the very last play of the game, he threw a beautiful touchdown to win the game, knock the Eagles out of one seed contention, and cement the Commanders in a playoff spot, which is pretty damn good for a rookie. And it was a great play. But basically, the rest of the game, one drive being accepted, and I'll show you that in a moment, he was kind of awful. A lot of inaccuracy, bad pocket management, bad decisions, and even some bad decisions as a runner. Jayden Daniels left a lot on the table in this game, but a combination of really crazy bad defense by the Eagles, some good offensive coordinating, and Jayden Daniels coming up clutch as hell when he needed to put the Commanders over the top. Now, I know that it's going to be an unpopular take because Jayden Daniels is absolutely going to be the talk of the town. He just beat one of the best teams in the league, arguably the best defense in the league. And he did it with his arm. At the very end of the game, they needed a touchdown to win, and he led them 50 yards to win the game. And that's sick. But if you watch the whole game, there was just a lot that he left on the table. I mean, throws that he put on Eagles face masks. He had 3 pickable balls in this game and a fourth one that hit Darius Slay in the head. I just didn't feel like it was very catchable for the defender. He had open receivers he missed. He ended drives with bad sacks and bad throws. Hell, he should have lost the game when he threw a really terrible pick over the middle with 2 minutes left in the game. And if Devontae Smith doesn't drop that ball, I mean, there's a million different things you could say, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Maybe the game would be very different if the Commanders didn't fumble 3 times also. But I digress. It's way too much yapping. Let's just watch the film, and I'll explain step by step why I think that Jayden Daniels kind of was bad in this otherwise legendary game. First play, we're going to have the running back motion. We know it's zone because nobody moves. They take quite a while at the line of scrimmage. And then pretty instant pressure up the middle. Good job by Jayden Daniels to just get the ball out, but he does miss the throw. And it's a wide open throw. It just has to be relatively close. It's a bad throw with a plus pocket movement because at least he got the ball off. Not the worst play. More motion, more zone. Nobody's moving with him. Gets a very clean pocket. Lots of time to read the play out, right? And you've got several options here. You've got your running back on the curl. You've got the crosser that he eventually throws. You even got a deep comeback at the 40-yard line that's wide open, and you have a very, very clean pocket, so everything's available to you. He just really underthrows this ball. I have the tight copy for you because, as you can see, if he just leads his receiver, put that ball about here, and you've probably got a catch, but the ball's just a little too far behind. Bad throw. More motion, more zone. Constant theme. Drops back. Very clean pocket yet again, and he just dumps it off to the running back. Running back comes up just short. Punt, drive 2. Motion. Probably zone. Screen. Routine. Out of empty. The easiest pass you'll ever throw, right? Clean pocket, wide open curls. It's your first read. Super late. Bad throw. A little motion. You've clearly got zone. Time in the pocket. Ton of time in the pocket. And he rolls out, and he runs for almost no gain. Let's see what he should have been looking at downfield. Top of the drop. Boom. He's wide. That's quite a window to throw into, isn't it? I mean, you got to get it over the linebacker, so it's not that tough, but you've got a very clean pocket. You've got time to make that throw. So here's the offensive play diagram. You're going to have a clear out skinny post at the bottom of the screen with a deep over or flag route from the slot by number 14. I believe that's Zacchaeus. Your primary receiver is going to be this red route. Don't know the receiver at the top of the screen just yet, but he's going to be running kind of a wrap crosser. He's just going to go to the linebacker and go around him, right? And just run behind him. And there's going to be a little bit of a pick motion where that red line crosses that yellow one. Your tight end's going to run a release and curl, and your running back's going to get out into the flat. It's third down. Line to gain is, I believe, the 32. So the red route will get you exactly where you need to go. Anything else is going to be a little too short, considering that the skinny post and the deep sail are probably afterthoughts. That being said, 14, Zacchaeus does come open later in the play, so as Jayden Daniels is scrambling to his right, that is absolutely an option. Let's run the film one more time. As you can see, it works perfectly. The deep sail route basically widens the crosser at the 38-yard line. It's perfect. It's exactly what you want. Jayden Daniels has a clean pocket. Step up and make that throw. But instead, he's already looking to run. Once Jayden Daniels' eyes come down, they stay down. And that's something that's, that's been a fact about him since ASU all the way through LSU, and it hasn't changed in the NFL. As he's rolling out, you can see that sail route we were talking about, that deep over right around the 50-yard line, it's open, and, it's a tough throw, but you can underthrow it significantly because there's nobody underneath the receiver, and he's looking to come back to you on the scramble drill. You should absolutely get that ball out, and hell, at this point, your running back has played the scramble drill perfectly. Just chip the ball out to him, and you have a first down. But instead, Daniel's eyes stay down. He runs. He barely gets the line to gain, or the line of scrimmage, rather. Certainly doesn't get anywhere near the line to gain. This is a negative run. It is on the quarterback. As you can see, the pocket was clean. Josh Sweat began to threaten, but at even a hint of a thought of maybe a pressure coming, Jayden Daniels bails out and turns into a runner. Next drive, which, as you can see, starts very deep as far as Jayden Daniels is concerned, and you got a little screen. Routine, nothing to talk about. Another one, except this one's bad. Right, just put it on him, and you probably have a touchdown, but it's a little further out. It's definitely catchable. That's not great receiving by Zacchaeus, but it's also certainly not a good ball. You'd like to see a lot better on a swing route, that's for damn sure. Now here, just a classic miscommunication. Route concept's going to be pretty simple. Terry McLaurin's running a fade, so somebody's definitely got to be on him. And then you're going to have De'Ami Brown run like a fake screen. The safety is going to bite on that, and nobody's going to cover the little 7 route from the slot. See right here, the linebacker. Or maybe that's a safety. Number 8. I think he's keying and saying like, oh, that's a screen. I got to jump the screen. And he bites, and as soon as he bites, Jayden Daniels says, haha, we got you. This worked out exactly how we planned. It's a first read. It's a routine throw. It's pretty damn open. Great play design. But, who amongst us doesn't make that throw? 15 yards downfield, nobody on him. Yeah, hell, I'll upgrade it to a solid throw from a routine throw, but we all know what it is. It's a throw that most starting quarterbacks, if not all of them, can make basically every time. Here's the double-sided coin of trying to evaluate Jalen Hurts. Everybody's wide open, right? You couldn't. It's a very clean pocket, great protection, and you've got options everywhere. De'Ami Brown's going to basically hit his head on the goalpost as long as you give him an accurate deep ball. Don't know who that is right at the logo who's running an out-breaking route. He's running back towards the quarterback and down. He's wide open, and then you have your release valve wide open as well. Basically, anything you do is going to get you at least 15 yards here. And Jayden Daniels misses all those reads. Just misses all those reads. Doesn't execute the play as called. But he's a really good runner, so he turns it into a positive play anyway. That's a positive run. It's impressive. Good job. But it's a little bit of the tricky dichotomy, right? He's not executing the play to the fullest extent, but he's also making a good play. Here, executing the play to the fullest extent. Routine throw. A lot of motion, figuring out exactly what you got going on. No checks at the line to make. Blitz gets picked up perfectly. Just a bad throw. Right? This is easy mode. They're asking him to do nothing at the line. They're asking him to make easy throws. They're asking his receivers to do everything after the catch, and he's not accomplishing it. What a terrible sack. Okay. Let's diagram. Whoops. Now that I have the right tool, Terry McLaurin's supposed to just run like a corner. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. He's mostly just a clear out. Then you're going to have your tight end sneak out here on the flat. I think that's the primary, and it's certainly wide open immediately. Puts you in very easy field goal range and possibly even fourth down range, right? Because it's going to be fourth and short, considering that this is third down. Finally, Dyami Brown's going to run, stop, curl, and then he's going to carry on into an in-breaking route. So let's clean that up. It's basically just going to be a stop, curl, in. Anything but Terry McLaurin's open, right? Your tight end is wide open right off the get-go, and Dyami Brown is open against a linebacker over the middle of the field pretty quickly in his own right. You got a lot of extra blockers, so you're very well protected. Throw the ball to Zach Ertz right here, right? If you throw the ball to Zach Ertz, he's going to catch the ball at the 25. He only needs to make the 20 to get the line to gain, rather. That's totally within the realm of possibility. He's got one tackle to break, right? And even if he doesn't, he's probably going to get to the 20. And he needs the 18. He's probably going to get to the 20. 4th and 2, you can go for that. Instead, no, Jayden Daniels waits, and instead of throwing the ball to Dyami Brown right now, which is totally viable, he just eats a sack. Bad sack, that's on Jayden Daniels, not the protection. Protection held up well. And, I'm not saying it takes 4 points off the board, but it certainly makes you settle for a field goal. Now this right here, we're about to start Jayden Daniels' best drive of the game by very far. This was a very good drive. First play, out of his own end zone, dime. Couldn't be more perfect. I saw some people saying that, receiver had to slow up for it. No, this is exactly how you want to play this ball. You don't want to leave it too far out there because then you risk it not being completed. This is exquisite. That's an elite throw. Perfect. And to do it from your own end zone makes it even better. Little boot motion and a good job running to get the first down. Right? Nobody really comes open. This is the right move. It is a positive run. He's not passing anything up either. That's what you want to see if you're a Jayden Daniels backer. This is the good stuff. Frankly, I think that this is the only drive that a lot of LSU and Commander fans watched because they're talking like he played some awesome game, and this was kind of it. Here it rolls out. Nobody quite open, playing the scramble drill, puts it on the sideline. It's a little too far out of bounds to be caught. Plus pocket movement. It's not a terrible throw. This, again, pretty damn good throw. So Terry McLaurin's doing a lot of work here. I want you guys to watch what he does to Quinyon Mitchell, who's a really good corner, a good rookie corner who I'm fond of. I don't want to say I love him. He's not Christian Gonzalez, but I do really like this guy. Watch how subtly Terry McLaurin beats him. Right here, he just has one hard step to the inside that makes Quinyon Mitchell think he's running a post. Quinyon Mitchell stumbles and falls backwards. He's lost all his momentum right here. Right here. He backs off of him. So instead of gaining ground by running towards the end zone, A, he's running towards the middle of the field, and B, he's kind of running backward. He's not running towards the end zone. So he takes himself completely out of the play. He is utterly cooked, and Jayden Daniels places the ball perfectly to capitalize on that. He does slow McLaurin up a little bit. McLaurin is super freaking open, but you don't have to put the ball in the eye of a needle when the guy's that open. You just have to make it super catchable. And it is 30 yards downfield. It's a great throw. It's arguably an elite throw. Because Jayden Daniels, is the talk of the town, he's getting every bit of hype you could ever imagine. We will call it elite instead of great just to be safe. That entire drive, was elite football. That is great quarterback football. That is borderline legendary football. If he did that all the time, I'd be the first one to say, dude, I was wrong. This is sick. Problem is, most of the game, it was not good. right? You got wide open receiver. Your curl from your tight end works perfectly. Your release valve to your running back worked perfectly. You have an out running with you at the fucking sticks. Sorry, didn't mean to swear. I got carried away. You have options, and instead you run. And you get 4 yards, and that's nice, but you're missing the opportunity. It's a neutral run. Here, little routine throw. It was on the wrong shoulder, but I don't actually care. Certainly catchable. If anything, I think that kind of throw brings the running back's momentum back up the field once they spin. I have no issue with it. Here, this is a really terrible throw. It's a wide open receiver. Could not be more open. You got 3 dudes who are just so wide open, all at the second level. All of them are going to get first downs. You throw the ball correctly to Luke McCaffrey. That's the right read. It's just your accuracy is for shit, and it's picked off. That gets picked off 10 times out of 10. Absolutely deserved to be picked. Terrible ball. So as you can see, Jayden Daniels follows up an awesome drive with a pretty awful one. Like about as bad as it can get, honestly. It's rare that you throw an interception because you're just that inaccurate. Usually they come because, you just make a bad decision. There's a throwaway in the dirt, plus pocket movement, no harm, no foul. Here's a routine screen, fumble, and that has nothing to do with Jayden Daniels. It's not his fault whatsoever. Routine play. Here, another one. You've got open receivers everywhere. Second down and short. Get the ball out. Instead of leaving the pocket to extend the play, kind of like we saw Baker Mayfield do in the video I did this morning, Daniels just kind of stands still, fades away, and makes a really poor throw. It's one of those throws where I almost feel bad for grading it as a bad throw because it is exactly as effective as a throwaway, but there's just a lot of space here to not need to throw the ball away or to just take a hit. You don't have to fade away. You can stand there and you can absorb a hit and you'll live, and it's going to hurt, but you'll complete the pass and you'll get a first down. So that's a plus pocket movement and a bad throw. Routine. A lot of routine in this game. A lot of routine in this game. A lot of routine in this game. Poof. Again. What is he doing? Diagram time. So here's your play. You're going to have Terry McLaurin running this circle route that turns into an in-breaker around the 30-yard line. That's far past the sticks. You're going to have whoever that top receiver is running a clear-out post, and I guess the idea is just you're going to have a high-low situation where one of the safeties takes the in and one of them takes the post, and you throw to whoever he doesn't take. You're also going to have this nice release valve to your running back. Running back is going to throw a chip and then escape out into space. Because it's soft zone coverage, cover 4, I believe, you should be able to exploit that space with your powerful running back one-on-one against the defensive back for 10 yards. And then you're going to have motion across from the slot receiver who's going to run a curl, and your tight end is also going to run a curl. Let's run it. As you can see, it ends up being cover 4. Pretty simple. Don't throw into the crowded area with 3 defenders in close proximity. As you can see, the running back does have 15 yards ahead of him. Like, honestly, that could be a touchdown. Probably not, but yeesh. You'll also see Daniels has a pretty damn clean pocket. He just throws it into a crowd, and he's kind of lucky this isn't picked off. I'm not sure whose face mask this hits. We'll get a better look on the tight copy, but this is certainly a bad throw, and it could even be worse. Oof. Just over the extended hand of the safety. Right into the head. Hits the face mask of the cornerback. Look, I'm not saying that's pickable, but it's very bad. It is on the low end of bad. Again, we won't call it pickable because we're nice guys, but phew, it's a bad play. Now here this is, if you're an Eagles fan, close your eyes. 4th and 11, right? Everybody's covered pretty well, but you have not maintained gap integrity. Nolan Smith tries to bend the edge. You see that number 3 in white? He's trying to run around the edge. That works great if you're going up against, Joe Burrow or, shit. There's not a lot of immobile quarterbacks left. Joe Burrow is pretty mobile himself. He's just not that fast. When you're playing against Jayden Daniels and you bend the edge like that and you're behind him, you're forcing him to run, and there's nobody in the middle of the field. This is where Jayden Daniels will hurt you. No, he's not a great passer, but he's a very good runner, and this is a very, very positive run. It's a positive run with a bonus point because it was so long. It's basically the same as a great throw. Very good play by Jayden Daniels, and it's super clutch. Keeps the drive alive. Here, a nice little routine throw, nothing to it. And honestly, this is a bad ball. Couldn't have been more wide open, and it starts at the very beginning, right? Just Reed Blankenship doesn't pat. Wait, no, that's not Reed Blankenship. Whoever 36 is, they have another white safety? Yikes. Must be a third or fourth stringer. This guy is completely derelict in his duties, right? He never once for a second figures out where he's supposed to go. This is supposed to be zone. It's a bunch at the top of the screen, and you got, I call it a firework or a pom-pom, where you got 3 receivers all running the same stem. They get to a certain spot, and they all explode in different directions. It couldn't be more wide open, and it's a bad ball, and it almost gets dropped. You tell me in good conscience how you call this an accurate throw. He has to slide and pick that ball off the ground. Yikes. Nevertheless, it is a touchdown, so decent drive. Honestly, a lot of bad from Jayden Daniels, but that one excellent run is really all you need. And then credit to Cliff Kingsbury. He's been doing this all year. Here's a bad one. This is a miscommunication. Jayden Daniels just throws it behind him. I don't know if he thought that was an option route or if he just missed that badly, but it's not a good ball. So credit to Cliff Kingsbury because his whole offense is predicated on, I'm going to make Jayden Daniels throw a bunch of really easy stuff over the middle that anybody can throw. And then you're going to have to respect the pass game because we're going to spread you out and throw short. And when you come up to stop that pass game, we got an extra weapon in our running quarterback, and he's going to run up the gut, and you're going to have nobody there to stop him. It's the same thing he did with Kyler Murray that made him effective. And, we saw pretty great success. They were a playoff contender despite having a bad roster and a not good quarterback. Now here, this ball's pickable. It might not look like it at first blush, but let's watch this tight copy, and you can see that the ball goes directly through the arms of the Eagles' safety, or cornerback. Honestly, this might have even been an OPI. Let's play it in super slow-mo. There's the ball. See it go right through that hand. Right through 34's hands. That's a backup Amari Rodgers, I believe. No. Someone else Rodgers. Doesn't matter. That ball went right through his hands. That's a pickable ball. There's a nice throw. Good job. Solid throw. This play stinks. So here's the issue. Our buddies in Philadelphia have 12 players on the field. 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, 4 defensive backs. Somebody's got to go. And Darius Slay thinks, well, shit, I'm closer to the sideline. I'll just run off. Right, so you can see number 2 at the top of the screen. He just runs off. But here's the issue. There's no one on this half of the field. If you're Vic Fangio, you're having a heart attack. This is the worst day of your life. How the fuck did this happen? If you're Jayden Daniels, you're saying, well, honestly, for some reason, Jayden Daniels doesn't even recognize it at first. Holy pre-snap obliviousness, Batman. Alamade Zaccheaus is standing there and nobody's anywhere close to him. Nobody knows he's alive. Nobody has any idea. And Daniels is looking at the bottom of the screen in a clean pocket, and he waits, and he waits, and he waits. And then finally, when he scrambles, he's like, oh, there's nobody covering you. So honestly, this is terrible processing. This is a really bad job by Daniels of not noticing there's nobody covering one of your receivers. And he gets lucky, honestly. Uh, if the Eagles don't rush him and he never looks to his right because he never scrambles, he might not notice this play. And God forbid they actually get home in the 3 seconds he sat there milking the pocket. They never have a chance to connect here. But because they do, it's a bad throw. It's not an accurate throw. Look at this. Ball barely gets there. It's a dead duck. But there's nobody nearby. Alameda Zacchaeus breaks a tackle, jukes a guy out, touchdown on what can only be described as the most routine play of all time. And again, routine is like putting it very gently. That's not good football. See, clean pocket never looks to his right until he's ready to scramble. Oblivious. Great play by Zacchaeus, though. So here we go. I think this is for all the marbles. This is probably what should have been the final drive, right? Regardless, it's a close game. First play. This is not the final drive. This is not the game-winning drive. This is not the game-losing drive. Still, plus pocket movement to get out the pocket and then a bad throw. The accuracy was just not there in this game. Not even close. Again, routine throw, and it's on the ground. Like, that is not a good ball. We'll call it routine. It was catchable, but it was a very poorly placed ball. And that's it. I mean, this should be the game. Rolls out right. Throws the ball into a crowd. Late, slow, off the safety's hands. Luckily for that safety, a different safety near. Oh, that's not safety. That's Darius Slay. So Darius Slay should have picked this ball. Reed Blankenship ends up picking this ball. Let's watch it from the tight copy so we can see exactly what happens at the catch point. Rolls out. I mean, it's a good job to not get sacked. And you found a receiver who was open, but you were late and you threw the ball way behind him. It's a bad ball that goes right off of Darius Slay's face mask, and he'd be kicking his own ass if it didn't bounce directly into Reed Blankenship's chest. And here, Eagles fans are really mad that he didn't try to run this back for a touchdown. I don't think he could have. But that's really bad. That's a pickable ball every single time. Commanders would get another chance, though. Open up with a routine throw. It's a solid throw. Right? Far hash. It's not the best throw. It's a little farther behind the receiver. Terry McLaurin does a great job adjusting, coming back to the ball. It's only 10 yards downfield. He catches it and has to roll out of bounds. A better ball would have been a little higher, had a little bit more velocity, so Terry McLaurin can catch that and walk out of bounds just in case there happens to be a corner anywhere nearby. That being said, we got a routine throw on the next play. Yep, and this is going to do it. There's a spike. Spikes are fun, but they have very little to do with the game. Here it is, the final play. Great anticipation. Throwing from a muddy pocket. Great ball. It's a great throw. Legitimately great throw. Right, so this is all because the linebacker, I believe it's Baun, just completely flubs his assignment, but it is a great throw by Jayden Daniels. Do not get it twisted. Look, on this final drive, this game-winning drive, Jayden Daniels made one throw with any real degree of difficulty, and it's this one. Right? The kick return got the ball out to the 40-yard line before Daniels even had to touch it, and then he had 3 quick, very short, very easy passes to march him down to the 20. But this is really good. So as you can see, it's just off camera. I'm going to have to show you guys on the wide copy, but make no mistake, great throw to win the game. Clutch as all hell. So in this game, Jayden Daniels he had a 4th down run that was really good. He had that one drive with the 2 deep balls that was awesome, and he had one play on the final drive that was good. Basically, the rest of the game, not good. Arguably terrible. But, in a couple clutch moments, came up really big. Is that a false start by the right tackle? Yes, it is. That's a clear false start. Not called, doesn't matter, has nothing to do with Jayden Daniels. So right here, the Eagles are playing a modified version of cover 4. It's like a mix of cover 4 and Tampa 2. All you really need to know is that this is where everybody's covering. And then the key player, the reason that it's a Tampa variant is because Zach Baun, this linebacker, is going to be dropping into this middle area, right? For whatever reason, he's facing the wrong way. He's looking over here at this route that is not his responsibility. That's already being double teamed. And he should be looking right here or at probably more likely right there. His job is to cover this middle area of the field, the A and the N in the end zone. And he, for whatever reason, and do not get it twisted, Zach Baun is having an all-pro, awesome season. He just totally messes up. And Jayden Daniels notices it early. Credit to Jayden Daniels. The red route, the eventual target, is exactly what you want to do against cover 4, right? So when you have the middle of the field open, you see these blue circles. You see there's a huge hole in the middle. And the actual purpose of running a Tampa rather than a regular cover 2 or cover 4 is just that your middle linebacker is going to drop even deeper to fill that hole, right? Because when you run cover 4, typically you don't have this hole dropper. So you want to attack the square in between those middle safeties, those middle deep droppers. And in cover 2, it's very similar. It's just you have even more room. By dropping the linebacker deep, his actual job, the reason his play is invented, is to stop that post. So whether Jayden Daniels just doesn't expect it to be a Tampa or whether Jayden Daniels is really that quick, he notices right away 53 is supposed to cover the post, or maybe he's not, but he's got his hips the wrong way. He's turned away from where my receiver is going. I'm launching that ball. Now, Jayden Daniels looks at he stares down this receiver the whole time. It's his first read. And that makes me think that I think Jayden Daniels just said, oh, I have middle of field open coverage versus a post. Post typically beats middle of field coverage. And it's one of those things where you're so wrong, you're right? He didn't know how complex things were, so he just assumed that it was the regular basic defense. And the thing that he did beats the basic defense, and it beats the complex defense when the complex defense has a problem, messes up. If Zach Baun had played this ball perfectly and Jayden Daniels doesn't realize that there's a Tampa dropper, it's probably a pick. But because Zach Baun plays it imperfectly, he plays it poorly, it's wide open. Now, if you're a Commanders fan, if you're a Jayden Daniels fan, you'd like to think Jayden Daniels realized right here. Let's see, I want to time it just right. This is when Jayden Daniels begins to throw. You'd like to think that right here, Daniels is saying, the linebacker's hips are the wrong way. The safety is flat-footed. I'm going to have my post wide open. And you very well might. And that would be really amazing anticipation on this play. And that's what I'm going to credit Jayden Daniels with. I'm going to assume this is just awesome anticipation. Booyah. Strike. That's a great play, and that's how you win a football game. Right there. That's the definition of clutch. If you made it this far, the last thing you saw was me praising the hell out of Jayden Daniels for that awesome clutch game-winning throw, and it was every bit a great throw. But other than that, only 4 impressive throws the entire game on 42 attempts. 2 of them were immaculate deep balls. We're going to grade them as elite. 1 led to a touchdown. 1 set that touchdown up. That's sick. That's everything you want out of a guy. But when you also mix in 13 bad balls plus 3 more interceptable balls, bad sacks, bad runs, bad decision-making, it's not a good game. Like, on the whole, it's a bad game. He mostly did what he was asked to, 15 routine passes, lots of screens, but the guy was accurate on 55.6% of his attempts, his aimed attempts, not counting the throwaways and the spikes. He had twice as many negative plays as he did positive. 41% negative plays, only 18% positive plays. These aren't just below the league average. These are well below his average as well. This is not one of Jayden Daniels' better games, but it is certainly his most clutch. you know, it might not have been seen so clutch, right? Because the last play of the game could have been him throwing an interception to Reed Blankenship. Everything that happened after that has nothing to do with Jayden Daniels. The Eagles ran the ball extremely effectively. All they needed to do was convert 1/3 down to a wide open Devontae Smith. The ball hits him in the hands. He drops it. If he catches that and takes a knee, game over. If he catches that and walks into the end zone, game over. But instead, he drops it. They kick a field goal. You know the rest. The Commanders' average starting field position was the 40-yard line, and they still struggled to score points without big breaks, big throws, coverage busts, etc. You tell me, am I not placing enough priority on 3 or 4 plays that were big? Or is it possible that Jayden Daniels wasn't very good, but flashed brilliance when it mattered most? And if that's the case, how excited are you that most of the time he was bad, but when it mattered most, he showed up? Now, I know that my comments are about to be flooded with Commanders and LSU fans who just want to dunk and say, like, LOL, Jayden Daniels, best quarterback of all time. His piss tastes like candy. I love the smell of his farts. That's great. It's not very fun. Let's try to keep the comments restricted to just talking about football and prioritizing, you know, good play versus clutch play. Which one means more? How much should they mean? What should their weight be when applying a grade? But I defy any of you. Please try. Tell me where I'm wrong on the film. All right. Until next time, I'm just going to keep grinding film. But actually, I might not keep grinding film because it's about Christmas time. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, jubilant Kwanzaa, a bountiful harvest, and Asta.